Stravinsky is both Russian and American. There's definitely a French component to his music. Why have you decided to call this experience, this 3-week intensive immersion into his music, the Russian Stravinsky?
Even if I try very hard to forget that I myself, coming from Russian school, I myself live most of my time in my life in St. Petersburg, where he famously was born and growing up. I am head of Mariinsky, where his father sang throughout all his career, and then he himself heard all the music he heard for the first time, he heard in the Mariinsky. I believe my way of performing music of Stravinsky is based on my experience with Mussorgsky operas, with Glinka or Rimsky-Korsakov and their orchestration, and of course symphonies of Tchaikovsky. So Russian Stravinsky maybe is also a valid way to call it, because himself, Igor Stravinsky, was saying in the end of his life that I think in Russian, I hear in Russian, my word is Russian. When he came back in 1962 to Soviet Union, he was asked, what did you enjoy in Leningrad most? He gave a very short answer, St. Petersburg.
You mentioned the Mariinsky Theater, and that's obviously a very important part of your life. I think one of the highlights of this period with this Stravinsky Festival will be the guest participation of the chorus. Is there anything that you would highlight that we should look for and listen for?
Well, the chorus, Russian chorus singing in Russian, it's a very important factor. Normally it's a plus. The French chorus singing in French is also normally a plus. Not only words, not only understanding, not only color. It's this kind of energy and very special sonority which comes together with understanding the words and being part of this tradition. And if you take Mariinsky chorus, it's enough to say that this chorus sings by memory maybe 30 or 35 Russian operas. Maybe altogether some of the members sang in 50 Russian operas.
Are there any specific pieces that you are especially looking forward to, pieces that you haven't done as much that will be fresher for you?
It's a combination. It's a combination. If I go and conduct Petrushka and then I perform the Symphony of Beethoven, I am in the world of Petrushka feeling maybe quite comfortable. But if I conduct Firebird, Petrushka, Sakura, or Le Nos, then I have to find the differences. One of my favorites, big favorites, is Le Nos. It's a fantastic, fantastic score. And chorus is all important there, just all important. So the difference should be quite striking. And this will be the goal for me. We will play Oedipus Rex. I think Stravinsky was very interested in a myth because the power of characters, just the power of characters. But he also was interested in the Russian fairy tale. So it will be very exciting to jump from Firebird to Greek tragedy and find why the same man was writing on such a different stories, such different items taken from world's literature, or Russian national literature. I think it will be a good color in this festival, a Greek color. I think it's important.
Well, I think, the idea of Stravinsky as a symphonist is not the first one that comes to my mind. And I think for most people, they think of him as a ballet composer and as someone who dealt with the Greek tragedies, all these other areas. But the fact is, his symphonies are wonderful pieces, and more of them are great than I think people realize.
And you know very well, these symphonies are part of repertoire of some of the best orchestras in the world, yet one wishes always that, for example, Symphony in C should be performed more regularly. And then, of course, Symphony for Wind Instruments. It's a very, very Russian piece for wind instruments, brilliantly orchestrated, very enjoyable, fantastic sonorities, short, so will be seen as a brilliant and relatively exotic choice. Just to watch these few musicians on stage make this score sound so glorious it will be quite a pleasure, I believe, for the public.
Well, I know the orchestra is looking forward enormously to your being with them again, and I'm sure it'll be a artistically triumphant period.
I hope that Stravinsky will be one of highlights of my own New York musical journey, and I'll do my best, of course, for that.
Thank you very much.
To as well.